Welcome back everybody. Today we're going to fill in some of the holes left by the pop plaster that I removed with the scraper. So depending on the size of the hole you've got, you can see some of these holes are pretty large, right? As long as the straight edge on the application tool here, which is going to be this guy here, as long as it's wider than the width of the hole, then you should get a nice straight edge. Right, let's go and open up this filler. It's not a filler I've used before. Mix it up a little bit. I'm going to use the small little application tool initially just to stick some on. And what I want to do is make sure it's slightly proud of the wall, because then I can use that straight edge tool to smooth it off. The smoother you can get it without having to sand everything, for me, is always a goal to try and strive for. Right, now the problem is we've got a lot of quite big holes here, and it's going to be difficult to see where the edges of those holes are. When using this straight edge of mine. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this little technique now quickly. So that's why I've got this really long edge here, so that it's wider than any of the holes that I've got. So if I just, and the important thing is to make sure that that edge is straight, right? Otherwise you're going to create more problems. And then if you do it at like about a 30-degree angle, you can just kind of drag stuff over. There we go. Okay, now you can see, if I go and clear this off, that's why it's always handy to have two of these. They kind of work together. Now, what you'll notice is when you drag it across, it'll often pull on the other side of the hole, right? Because it pulls the material and it pulls it away from that edge. So what I normally go and do is I'll just go in the middle of the hole and I'll push it back the other way, and then I do it kind of the same again, and I do it this way. And that way it makes sure that it doesn't actually pull the filler away from the edges of the hole. There we go. Right, I think I'm definitely going to have to do a little bit of sanding, but it's not nearly as much sanding as when you just ply it on. You know what? I'm going to leave it like that. I finished the first pass of doing the filler. We're just going to use some 40 grit sandpaper just to smooth off the first layer of filler, and then we'll be able to apply the next coat of filler. Right, I think that's it. Because I applied it really thinly first time around, there wasn't a lot to take off.